Blessed and favored, highly anointed, daughter of a king. I'm a daughter of a king that sits on a heavenly throne. He watches over me. He gives me angels to call my own. I'm spoiled with his love. He solely takes care of me. So me fully blessed, no have no stress. Me fully blessed, nothing me no shatter. Royalty, the king of my father. Fully blessed, nothing me no shatter. Royalty, the king of my father. Fully blessed, nothing me no shatter.
Welcome. I'm so happy to be with you on Cloud Record Music Podcast. I'm your host, Maurine McFarlane, and it gives me great pleasure to spotlight my special guest, Jamaican gospel singer, songwriter, and producer, Minister Letitia Kaye. This is a conversation you do not want to miss. You'll be charmed and inspired. Don't go anywhere. And now, a Cloud Record Music Spotlight. Letitia Kaye, otherwise called the Fully Blessed One, is a minister, gospel singer, songwriter, and composer. She started singing in the church at age 4 and then transitioned to the secular world at age 17. In 2014, she recommitted her life to the Lord, and in 2020, she released her first gospel single entitled Fully Blessed, which is based on her testimony. Fully Blessed has won Letitia several international gospel awards, such as New Artist of the Year by GADT International Gospel Awards in 2001 and the Prize Minister Award, TPN Award for Best Reggae Gospel Song of 2022. Minister Letitia Kaye has ministered on stage across Jamaica. She is a mother, a foster mother, motivational speaker, volunteer, and vice president of the Greendale CDC, founder and president of the ASA Production, and vice president of the Real Men Love God School Tour Ministry. Letitia is a member of Kingdom Worship Center, Apostolic Church. Her motto is Me Fully. Now, I'm excited to have this captivating conversation with the most gifted and talented Letitia Kaye, who is joining us from her homeland in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Jamaica, the West Indies. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Cloud Record Music Podcast. Today I have a very special guest, and she's coming all the way from Spanish Town in Jamaica, the West Indies. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Letitia Kaye from Jamaica. Welcome, Letitia.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm wonderful.
Oh, I have to ask you because we've just had a thunderstorm 2 nights ago. What is it like there in Jamaica? Sunny and beautiful?
Wow, sunny and beautiful. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
Oh, great. Fantastic. I have to say that I'm very impressed with your music. I have been listening to your music for the last couple of days as I was preparing for you. And there's something interesting about one of your songs in terms of your testimony. And it's called Fully Blessed.
Oh, yeah.
And what's so fascinating about it is because it said it's your testimony. So can you share with us what does that mean that the song inspired you from your testimony?
It is. The song has been an inspiration to me. So some years ago, I lost my sight. I just had a new baby, a month old, and mysteriously lost my sight. Couldn't see at all. And I was told by numerous doctors that it was impossible for me to see again. I Years by, I suffered with a condition called myopia, that's nearsightedness. That's something that runs in my family. And I wore contact lenses for a while. And somebody referred me to a clinic, which I would say, because God has been good and it's the past, but we have to still talk about what God has done for us. So I went there, left my son at the daycare and went to get my eyes tested, and I came out blind. Blind. And I was told over and over again that that's it. And I remember as a little girl growing up, how my mother would pray. She was such a believer. She had so much faith. She would literally do things and watch God work. And I went back to that and I made myself a prayer room. And every day I go into the prayer room and I pray to God. And I said, God, you have blessed me with a child. You can't take my sight away. If you're not gonna give me back my sight, take the child. Because there's no way I can take care of the child blind. And one day I was sitting outside on a bench at the back of my yard, a bench that I used to work out because I was big on fitness. So that's my work bench. And I sat there. I wasn't thinking anything at all. This is like maybe a year, going to a year since I'm now accepting the blindness and, but still hopeful that God is going to come through for me. And I sat out there and I wasn't thinking anything because when you're blind, sometimes it gets so frustrating that after a while you don't even want to think. So I sat there and I saw something red past my face. And I hold on to my face like this and I said, I called the person who, my caregiver, and I said to her, something red past my face. What is it? And she said, it's your son. He is creeping. Mind you, my son was so slow because he did not get the attention that he needed as a baby. So the progression was slow with him. He did everything slow. So my son crawled out of the house and was crawling towards me. And I saw a red shirt he was wearing. Nothing but the red shirt. And I said, bring him to me. And she brought him to me. And I held him up and I said, God, thank you for my sight. Thank you for my sight. And every day I go into the room and I never ask God for sight again. I said, God, thank you for my sight. Thank you for my sight. And I began testing my sight. So I had this big sheer curtain at a door in my living room. I had this big glass door at the front of my living room, and I had a sheer curtain. So I would go there and test my eyes to see how my vision was coming on. And I went there and I pulled the curtain. And every day I do this. And one day I went there and it was like, I could just move the curtain as wide as possible and my sight would come back. And I was so hopeful and I ran into the room and I said, God, thank you for my sight. Thank you for my sight. And the next day I went back and my neighbor, her auntie was blind for 30 years. So that was my friend now. We used to par because we're two blind people. And she was passing my yard. And I saw her. She was wearing a black pants and a pretty shirt with black background. And I said, Auntie Louise. And she said to me, Kay, why are you over there? And I said, I'm alone. And she said, come, you can't see, man. And I said, yes, I can see.
Oh my goodness.
My eyes was going like this because I could see her silhouette because she was a very, how I describe it now, a lady with nice body figure. So I saw it. And she said, pull the grill and come. And I walked by faith to the key rack and I took the key from the rack. And the keys and the rack was going like this, but I steadied and I focused and I took the key down. And I went outside and I pushed the key in the lock. And I opened the grill and I walked to the gate. And she knelt down in the road and she cried. She said, you know how long auntie have been blind? She was blind at your age. She cried for me. And I said, God, thank you for my sight. She said, what did you do? I said, I prayed.
That's
And
beautiful. Wow.
every day, my eyes get better and better and better and better. And one day, how the song came about now. So I never talk about this. My son was growing up and he was, I think, 11 or 12, somewhere there. And we went to church. And by this time, I've gotten baptized again and we are going to church. And I took my boys to church. And by this time, I had another son. And we were coming from church. And I said, the message at church was gratitude. And I said to my son, I have so much to be grateful for. And he said, what? And I told him the story. And this line came to me, you're fully blessed. And I said to my son, you know, I'm going to write a song about this. And I said, when we got into the living room, I put my bag down and I took a pen and I said, bring me some paper. And I started writing, me fully blessed, nothing me no shatter, royalty, the king of my father. And my son was beating drums with his hands on the counter to me. And we wrote that song in 5 minutes.
That's beautiful. I love the song and I love the video as well. That is so powerful. My goodness. Now, let me ask you this. Were you a singer before you became blind?
Yes, I was. So I grew up in church singing in the Pentecostal church down there in St. Elizabeth. Discovered I could sing by the time I got to high school. And I chased the music. So I was a secular singer for years. And I wasn't fulfilled. And been in it for years, a part of a group song in the hotels and stuff, and lot of shows and things. I said, God, whatever it is that is hindering me from serving you, take it. And he took the music then. So that was the first song I wrote when I went back to church. And I didn't do anything with the song for a year. I had it for a year. And I was just loving God so much and believing in him and how God has been good to me. I am a living testimony of the goodness of God.
So basically that miracle is what transform your relationship with God, right? That's what brought you back into the fold.
No. So the miracle, when I received my sight, all the things I promised God, I forgot.
Don't we always do, right?
So all the things I promised God, I forgot. And it was 2013 going into 2014. That's when I had this conversation with God. I was so unhappy. I was so broken, confused. I don't know. There was a transformation happening in my life and I wasn't understanding it. And I said, God, whatever it is that is hindering me from serving you, take it. And he took the music. So I went to church. Nobody knew anything about me. I didn't sing. I didn't do anything. I just went to church and I sought God. I went to all the prayer meetings and the fastings with the older women and older men because I was in a state of rejection then. And I don't know if persons had rejected me or I had rejected myself, but I know I was in a state of rejection. Right. So I just plunged myself into God.
That's good. So I read in all the things about you say minister. You're also a motivational speaker.
Yes.
So as a minister, you're a minister of music or you're a minister like within the church, like a pastor?
Well, a bit of both. Because I've been getting some invitations to preach in churches. And I laughed. The first one I got, I literally said to my sister, she invited me to a church. And it's a friend I met at a gospel concert. Diane Barnett, she is a gospel singer as well, the rooted and grounded gospel singer. And she invited me to speak at a church. And when I went there, they introduced me that I would preach. And I said, no, that's not what I came for. But I had to do what God said, and it's been onward from there. So I'd say a bit of both.
Okay, well, I would also like to say to the audience that the song that we're speaking of is called Fully Blessed. It's on the music platforms, correct? It on all the music platforms?
Yes.
Right, and she has an outstanding video on YouTube as well. So you're going to enjoy it. So I'm going to encourage you to go down and download her song. You know, also, I wanted to ask you about this, that you have something called the Real Men Life God School Tour Ministry. You're the CEO of that. What exactly is that?
The Real Men Love God School Tour. So actually, I am the vice president of that movement. So it's young women and men going into school and pouring into young children, young men and women. So we go from the basic school, primary school, to the high school, and we do that throughout Jamaica. We go and we help with devotional exercise, motivational speeches, and it's a hell of a ride. It's a learning process for us, and we are out there learning as we try to teach.
Yeah.
So Mr. Praise is the founder of that movement, and it's been going great. I love it.
So that's good. You're encouraging the next generation of youth, right? And by the way, I would like for you to follow her. She's I have her link below with her social media. So, you know, do follow her and subscribe, you know, to her social media. You have a website for the work that you do?
My website, something happened to my website. So I'm in the process of getting that up now. So I wouldn't put that out there for just yet.
Okay. Well, I have to talk to you about one of your music. And matter of fact, I worship with it this morning.
Oh, yeah?
And yes, I just love it. You know, it's called Nothing Compared to You. Oh my goodness. First of all, that particular song is on the Favor Zone production on with the album called Suddenly. And the way I've heard about Letitia is through Elder Ferguson. You know, I bought that, I downloaded the whole album, and I just love that song. So I want to ask you a question. Did you write the lyrics for that song yourself?
I did. So Elder Ferguson is a friend of mine, wonderful man of God. So he got this beat and he sent me the beat and he said, Minister Kaye, can you do something on this beat? And I said, okay, let me go in prayer for a day. And if I don't send you something, I'm not doing it. And I was traveling and I put it on in the car and I just started singing. Nothing compares to you. You're the sweetest name. Love remains the same. There is no one, and the rest is history.
Ladies and gentlemen, she has such a great voice, but I'm going to give you guys a sample just to hear it, and then I want you to go and download it. It is absolutely such a great worship song, and I mean it when I said this is one of my worship songs in the mornings, and it's called, again, Nothing Compares to You by Letitia Kaye. So enjoy it. We'll be right back.
Exalt you and call on your name, Jesus. Oh, blessed friend, I love you forever. This love will never end. Nothing compares to you. You're the sweetest.
Okay, now I told you it is just an amazing song. So please go out and support her and get that song and all of her songs. It is just beautiful. So Letitia, look, how long have you been in gospel music?
Well, I have been in gospel all my life. Really, I started in gospel at 4 years old. That's like, wow, years and years. Because if I tell you how many years, you're gonna tell me my age.
Okay. Now, do you have any upcoming projects you're working on that you want to share with us?
I do. I am working on my album now. So my album will come before the end of this year. And we also have a big concert coming, an album launch and in concert with my friends, and we are the artist supporting artist, the ASA production, and we will be in concert with the album launch.
Oh, well, when you launch that album, if you want to come back and share with our audience, we have a very large worldwide audience, of 170,000 subscribers. So feel free. We'll be love to have you and your group on.
I'll definitely be back with my group. You'd love to have them.
Okay. Yeah, we're just inspired by musicians and artists that are just trying to do something that may not be well known yet, but we want to expose everyone and their music to the audiences that love music. So absolutely, it's my pleasure.
Thank you for using your ministry to do just that.
Oh, yeah, listen, I have so much fun and I meet some of the most talented people like yourself. So I'm really enjoying it as well. So I asked you this one thing, and I love your testimony. And life is always challenging us, right? But do you have a particular type of music that you like to listen to when you're down? If you have those down moments, that we all experience sometimes.
So my down moment is really listening to a good sermon. So and I love this one artist. I was depressed some years ago when I got baptized. And I think I'd been depressed all my life. And it's Jessica Reddy that got me out of depression with that song, Better. I don't know if you know that song, but you need to
Who is the artist? Who is the artist?
Jessica Reddy.
Okay. I will check it out. I'm not familiar with it, but I will certainly check it out. Yes.
Yes. So that song got me out of depression. And I got that song by accident. And I just it ministered to me because the song was telling my story. And I got rid of depression just like that. And I've never been depressed again.
You have a powerful story. Your testimony alone is such an inspiration.
Thank you so much.
It is to the point where I'm just like, wow, it leaves me. and then to get a song from it's another amazing thing to put down, because music inspired us, but when it inspired us from our own experience, it's even more powerful for those that are listening. So I am just so thrilled you're here to share it with us.
Thank you.
Yes.
I grew up on aspirations, affirmations, and my mother would just affirm herself, and physically she was broken, and she would get up and say, I am blessed. Wow. Even though you don't see that, but inside of her, she felt that, and she put that out, and life got better and better and better. So I just pattern that, and when I'm at a low, I just declare things over my life. I wake up and I have my children doing that. I wake up in the morning and I just say, God, I am the head and not the tail. I am blessed. I am highly favored. I'm anointed. Even when I'm beaten down, I said, I am above and not beneath. I am the head and not
the tail. Well, you're encouraging me right now. Yes. So thank you.
So I always try to live what I say. One day I had held a grudge against somebody, and it's a very important person in my family. And my son came to me, and he was 9 years old, and he said, Mommy, remember that forgiveness you teach me about? Use it. I was like, oh my God. So I have boys that will hold me accountable.
Well,
So
there's a word. I think there's a word that says the children would lead the way, right?
yes,
So we're not surprised when we are corrected or even
yes,
reminded by our children to do the right thing. Well, geez, I'm just so glad you're here with me. And again, I want to encourage all of our audiences to please go below. You'll find our links to her music. I have it there to make it easy for all of you. I have her social media. I want to encourage you to support her work and download all of her music and follow her and find out what she's doing. I think she's going to be known. Yeah, she's going to keep this
amen.
going. And of course, we'll have her
Praise the Lord
back.
of my life. I receive.
Yes, we also want to make sure that she comes back when she releases her new album with her group so we can continue to support her. And again, one of my favorite worship song is Nothing Compared to You. You have to get it, folks.
Amen.
It is really just so beautiful and will connect you so deeply in your worship experience.
Amen.
Letitia, oh my goodness, girl. I wish I could talk to you forever,
Oh
but
my
time is
God.
so limited. But it's such a pleasure. And though I said she's coming to us from Spanish Town originally, she's from where in Jamaica are you from originally?
I am from St. Elizabeth, a little district in St. Elizabeth, Carisbrook district. And I want to say shout out to everybody in Carisbrook. You know, your girl loves you as you love her.
Oh, see that? All right, now make sure you people down there also download her music and show
Right.
your love for her. Okay. All right. Well, Letitia, again, I'm so excited that you could make it today to join us. It gives me great pleasure to spotlight you to our audiences, and I'm going to look forward to you coming back and joining us. So I just want to thank you for that, and for those that are joining us for the first time on Cloud Record Music Podcast, please subscribe, ring the bell, and share it. And please download the videos. You can watch it anytime you want. All right. And share it with your friends and family. Thank you for joining me every 2 weeks. And Letitia, again, it's been such a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Peace, everyone.